Carolina has the dubious reputation of having the worst drinking water contamination incident in the history of this nation, and that is Camp Lejeune. I want to know what our governor and Mr. Tillis, what their goal is here. Are they trying to beat their own record?
The chemicals which affected the water at Camp Lejeune were both secretly and negligently introduced into the groundwater, which was the only source of drinking water for the entire base. Our current legislature and governor are brazenly and openly passing legislation which will allow oil and gas companies to pump chemical fluids into the ground of our state to extract crude oil and natural gas, hydraulic fracturing, better known as fracking. The only thing that Governor McCrory and Mr. Tillis are attempting to keep secret are the names of the chemicals being pumped into our ground.
That's right.
The most sacred duty of any leader is to safeguard the health, safety, and welfare of all the people that they have been entrusted to lead. With the passage of this fracking legislation, Governor, you, Mr. Tillis, and every legislator who voted to pass this insane legislation have failed that sacred duty.
Yes, yes, yes.
The state of North Carolina currently holds the dubious record of owning the worst and largest drinking water contamination incident in the history of the United States, that being Camp Lejeune.
Yes, sir.
Having watched how our governor and Mr. Tillis have jammed this fracking legislation through, I had to scratch my head and ask myself a rhetorical question. Are you guys trying to beat your own record?
Teach them.
I am a registered independent voter, and the only reason that I'm telling you that is this. Chemically contaminated drinking water, cancer, and birth defects are omnipartisan. They have no party affiliation, and they devastate on a nonpartisan basis. We have the technology and the resources available here in North Carolina to meet our future energy demands without risking our public health or environment. The only problem is that those clean sources of energy don't line the pockets of the special interests who are paying the campaign finances of those people who introduced and passed this fracking bill. We have an election coming in November, and I implore all of you to vote. But now let me tell you something. I also implore all of you to vote with your head, not your heart. Thank you.
Yes, sir. From one independent to another, it's time for all of us to stand up.